to the Math Masterclass, and for this lesson, it's going to be very short. We're going to talk about all the different subjects that when it comes to learning some math skills. So when you think about math, you probably think about just probably counting and then some number recognition. You probably want to jump straight away to number recognition, but that's the last thing we're going to do. We're not even going to do that until they're about 3 years old. So today I'm going to show you 4 skills that we are going to be working on before they get to pre-K, before they get to recognizing those numbers, that are going to give them the tools to succeed when it comes to math skills. The very first one is counting. That's probably one that you are already doing. That's one you hear with the songs. So we want to start counting 1, 2, 3. But we want to not just count to 3, we want to leave out the 3. So 1, 2, and then your child is going to say 3. That's our first skill. Then we're going to go up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want them to say the numbers with us. And one of the great things about counting 1 to 5 is there are tons of activities and songs that you can do, especially songs. So there's multiple songs that you can do when it comes to counting, like 5 little ducks, and then you start 5 little ducks, and then 4 little ducks, right? Like 5 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mama duck said quack, 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 and only 4 little ducks came back. You can teach them how to count with their fingers and how to start reducing the amount of fingers as they sing. Another great activity is if you have some type of visual. So if you have 5 ducks, so if you have the learning binder 1, we have the 5 ducks and they can start taking them off. It just kind of engages into a multi-sensorial experience when you're doing these songs. You have the 5 little ducks, you have 5 speckled frogs, you have 5 little monkeys. So those are all songs that focus on using music for counting. Our second skill that we want to work on is one-on-one correspondence. And one-on-one correspondence means you are assigning a number to an object. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 animals, what you're going to do is you're going to assign a number, pointing your finger to an animal. So it's 1, 2, just like how I counted. If you see, some of the kids will count faster than they can point. They'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and they'll just keep going. We want them to slow down and say 1, 2. Each number is associated with each of the animals. That is one-on-one correspondence, and you can start doing 1, 2, and 3, and then moving on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then moving on to 1 to 10, and once they're getting closer to 3, you want to do 1 through 30. So the next thing that we're going to work on is visual discrimination. And what does that mean? It's the ability to identify when things are different and where things are similar. So if you have 4 fish and 1 duck, they should be able to identify that the duck is different. If you have 4 sharks and 1 fish, they should be able to identify that the fish is different than the sharks, even though they all live in the ocean. And we have some activities for that, like the Velcro activities in the learning binder too, because we really want to focus that at age 2. At age 1, they're still having a little trouble identifying, and what they're working on is they're working on categorizing. So sometimes you might see the kids say, you know, what color is this? And they'll say green, but it's actually yellow. They're actually in their mind categorizing that it's colors. Like, we have colors, we have shapes, we have numbers. They know that that's a category of colors. They just know that's a specific color called green. So closer to age 2, they're able to identify the difference between the colors, and now we want to make sure they identify the difference between the objects. If you have on a book a dog holding a bone and then a dog without the bone, they should be able to identify the differences. And why do we want to do this? Why do we want to work on this now and not later? Well, later on, when they're going to be identifying numbers, they're going to need to know what are the differences in their look, right? So if you have a number 5 and a number 6, they could look very similar, but there are some differences. So we're working on those skills before we give them some numbers for them to recognize the differences. So we're building those building blocks for them to get to, when it's pre-K time, that they're going to be recognizing some of those numbers and even letters, right? I can give you an E and I can give you an F, and they could look similar, but if you have worked on visual discrimination, they're gonna be able to identify that there are some things that look a little different. They're going to be able to easily identify which are the 2 letters that they're learning. We want to notice patterns. Pattern is a math skill. It's not just numbers, not just counting, it's patterns. AB patterns, meaning red, white, red, white, red, white. Or AABB patterns, which is red, red, white, white, red, red, white, white. And that skill, I start recognizing it about 3 years old. They're gonna be able to really master it. But what I want you to do now is I want you to identify stripes. That's an easy pattern that you can do. Or if you have a shirt with flowers and it's, a pattern is something that repeats itself. A lot of patterns are seen in nature, so you can take advantage of your nature walks to try to identify just patterns. I don't want you to start building patterns with them. If they're not ready for it, you can do it as a, hey, this is AB patterns, maybe you can start with, but I wouldn't expect them to actually complete a pattern or really grasp it until they are the age of 3. So what you can do before is you can start identifying patterns such as, you can identify patterns in nature, pattern in animals, so patterns like the zebra, right? She has a patterns in, maybe if you see a peacock, right? It's something that repeats itself. So I just want you to get the word out there of patterns so that when they're 3 years old and they're getting ready to create those patterns, they're kind of understand, oh, I've talked about this. I know kind of what this is. And that's a skill. Another skill that you can do that it's math, and that's where a lot of sensory and cooking comes into play, is measuring. Measuring, weight, those are all things that you can do while cooking naturally. If you're making pancakes together, you have to measure the cup, or if you're walking in nature, you can hold to see which one is heavy. Those are all math concepts that later on are going to be very useful when it comes to adding and subtracting and all those skills that require a little more of cognitive development. Then we can go ahead and do number recognition, right? Right now you can just expose them to numbers and say, hey, this is the number 1, this is 2, this is 3, because we see them all over. Use the environment that you have out there to point out, hey, look, that's the number 2, that's the number 1. I don't expect them to recognize the numbers right now. I wouldn't want to push it, but exposure is okay. We want to they're sponges, so we can give them all this information, and when it's time to learning, they'll have it in the back of their head. They had made some connections about recognizing some of those things. They might not be able to say it, and I differentiate them, but they'll be able to understand, hey, I've seen this somewhere before. This is not completely new. So that's why, like on the learning binders, we have number recognition page on all of them, even though I don't expect them to recognize this is a 1 and this is a 2 until they're about 3 years old. There are some kids, as with anything, that they will grasp this information way before, and that's completely fine. That's why we want to expose them to these things, because we don't want to hold them back if they're ready to go ahead, but we also don't want to push them if they're not ready. So exposure, just think about when you're doing your own things, when you're walking and you want to point things, just think about the word exposure. I'm just exposing them to the idea of there's math in the world and we use it every day. When we're packing our supermarket tomatoes, we are counting. When we are looking at the tomatoes versus the apples, they're both red, but we are going to see which one is different. And you can make little games like that on your everyday. So just try to implement a little bit of math into your everyday life, and you're gonna see there's math everywhere, especially this beginning concept. So that's it for today. We are going to go ahead and get your lesson plan ready. We talked about counting, we talked about one-on-one correspondence, we talked about visual discrimination, patterns, and number recognition. So these are all, and then I added in the weight and the measuring in the kitchen, which I didn't have it on my notes, but it is a math skill. So go ahead and have some fun this month. Just bring awareness to the fact that you are going to do some numbers and you're going to point it and you're going to count, and you're going to see how easily it is to implement this skill into your everyday life. And that's the idea. Until then, I'll see you on the next video, and have some fun this month. Bye.